Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another video. Hey yo, we gonna get into this recap, but I'm gonna just let y'all know that the esoteric breakdown is gonna be coming in hot soon after this one. It's gonna be crazy. But let's get into this wild ass breakdown or recap real quick, yo. But before we do that, go ahead and hit that like button and let everybody know we're here. Let's get the likes up high so the algorithm could pick up the video. Also share it to let everybody know that you watch it and you rock with the Real Enigmas and Theories. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And just do all the rest of that good YouTube shit. Get ready to hop in the comments. We're gonna talk about this. So the episode picks up right where we left off with the ambulance coming up to the tree. And here we go with these goofy ass EMT people standing out there just looking at the tree like they could move it with their mind. So then the cop comes out there and she's standing there looking at the tree too. But what messed me up was Tabitha. Girl, why didn't you just tell these people like, yo, look.
There's about to be these crows coming. They're going to be deep. They're going to be coming deep. The crows is coming. They're going to try to scare us away.
No, she didn't do that. She didn't let these people really know shit. So then we cut to a scene where Ethan is sitting there looking at some of Eloise's drawings. And all of a sudden the phone rings and Ethan picks it up. Y'all know it was Thomas or faux Thomas trying to trick Ethan into believing that it was him, but he was giving him some valuable information about his mom coming back. And then Jim comes on the phone.
Boy, get your ass off that phone.
Anyway, he grabs the phone and the voice starts fucking with him and telling him that it wasn't his children anymore. So Jim snatches the phone off the wall only to be revealed that there's no cord attached to the wall or to the phone. And Jim is looking at it. He examines it and everything. But he asked Ethan what they said, and Ethan really wasn't talking fast enough for Jim. Jim had to grab him up real quick.
Man, you little motherfucker, you ain't talking fast enough. I said, what did they say?
So after the credits, we cut to a scene where Nikki is wiping the blood from the crow off the wall. She's wiping the blood off the wall. That's not a good sign, Nikki. You shouldn't be touching the enchanted crow's blood. And Bacta is smart enough to know that. Nikki asked her, what are you looking at? Just pick it up. And Bacta was like,
bitch, I ain't picking that shit up. You pick that shit up, ho. You got birds flying in this motherfucker on some kamikaze shit. You pick it up. Matter of fact, while you at it, go ahead and feather that motherfucker and eat it. You gonna die anyway. And Tilly, why the fuck is you around this motherfucker doing tarot card readings and shit? Bitch, put the cards away. You still got the cards? All y'all motherfuckers got bad juju.
And Donna pulls up like,
all you bitches, shut up. Elgin, you good?
So then we cut to a scene with Fatima and Mari. And I don't know about you, but Mari's whole demeanor and everything is a whole lot better ever since she woke up from them cicadas. Like, she's on point. She's doing, doctor checks and, she just seems more calm and put together and well collected. I don't know. She's doing her thing. She's looking good. Shout out to that. Maybe Colony House has cured her of her drug addiction. Maybe. Who knows? In one point of the conversation, she was like,
damn, girl, it looks like you've been eating a little bit. Your face getting a little fat. You got your color coming back. Girl, what's going on?
So then we cut back to a scene with Victor and Sarah talking. So Victor is explaining that they used to play in the houses during the daytime. They couldn't play in them at night. So he has totally confirmed that the monsters were there when he was there. They used to play in that house, and that was his sister's favorite one. And Victor comes through with no filter, and he says this.
My mother too, but they died. Just like Nathan. Except I didn't murder them.
But Sarah, she's just trying to play it cool and everything. She brushing all the haters off. She switched the topic real quick and said, is this enough blanket? And Victor was like,
Hell yeah, this is enough. I'm about to build a stupid fort with this shit. It ain't never snowed out here before. We about to build a stupid ass fort in the basement. Let's go in, baby. Come on, let's go downstairs. The basements is for secrets.
I hope they don't go Mr. Robot with this shit and tell a story about Christopher taking kids to the basement. That'd be crazy as hell. Then we cut to a scene where goofy ass Tabitha's in the ambulance with the people. They wonder how the hell are they still in the woods when they was just in the town when they got stuck at the tree. I don't know why Tabitha didn't just tell them about the crows. She would have had them on her side. She could have been like, look,
We about to see the crows. Then when we turn around, we gonna see a barn. We go down the road some more. If we keep going, we just gonna end up right back in the town. So we need to stop and we need to holler at my people. My husband and my family is in this town. Trust me.
but no, I don't know what she was thinking. She just kind of let them ride on into town and shit. So then we cut to a scene with Boyd and Randall inside the bus. And Boyd is looking around and there's no monsters out there. He's trying to get a good feel for what these things are doing. It's kind of studying. And Randall inquires about his plan, said, look.
So you just want to study them and see if you can figure out what their movements are and shit like that? And figure out a plan? Sounds like some dumb shit to me, but hey, I'm here for it.
And Boyd is like,
Man, why didn't your bitch ass just go in the motherfucking sheriff station like I told you? And you won't have to be here asking me some stupid ass fucking questions.
and Randall's like,
Shit, if you trying to figure a way to get out of this motherfucker, I'm trying to figure it out too. So fuck you, I'm staying, if that's okay with you.
one thing I like about this scene that gives us a lot of information is that Randall is aware that Boyd was there in that dungeon because he knows that Boyd was there. He said the things that we seen and he pointed at Boyd. And he's like, yeah, I know you was in that dungeon and I know you was the one that saved us up out of that shit. So I'm trying to stick around and see what the fuck you got going on. Cause there's some shit out here that's worse than dying. So let's figure this shit out. So then we cut to a scene back out in the cabins with Kenny, Christy, and Jade in the cabin sleeping together. Kenny says something very interesting that I brought up in the last few videos. And we'll touch on that in the esoteric thing, but it was when he was talking about the high holiday. But we'll get to that in the esoteric breakdown. Right now, this is just a recap, but you already know that esoteric breakdown is going to be coming in hot, so stay tuned. Then we cut to a scene where Victor done took them sheets and blankets and he done made a cold ass fort down there in the basement. Shit, where was this motherfucker at when I was a kid? This man done made a ill ass fort. I'ma tell you right now, if they get Victor out of Frumlin, y'all need to start Victor a YouTube page where he's making forts and tying knots and shit like that. He'll blow the fuck up. But he made a cold ass fort down there and started telling Sarah about the story. He said, look,
Motherfuckers got killed. I woke up one day in the root cellar. My sister didn't listen. And everybody was dead. And I met this little dude named the Boy in White.
and Sarah was like,
Oh shit, you know the Boy in White too? Yeah, that's the homie from way back. We down like 4 flat tires. This motherfucker held me down the whole time I was here before all you motherfuckers started showing up. And I think this stuff can make me remember what the fuck happened. So why'd you bring me down to this motherfucker then?
and Victor was like,
I'm gonna have to remember some scary things. You're the scariest person here, so it won't scare you.
and Sarah just gave him a look and she was thinking to herself,
This motherfucker's still taking slick shots at my ass. Okay, that's alright. That's okay.
so we cut back to Boyd and Randall inside of the bus, and Randall, he can't sit his ass still. And Boyd is like,
Man, you need to sit your sour sausage smelling ass down somewhere. You walking around and shit, you got my nerves fucked up.
but Randall breaks it down to him like this.
Something's wrong. Those things should be all over the place by now.
Really?
These things give creature of habit a whole new goddamn meaning. The one in the nurse's uniform, my first stop every night. Every single night. She just stands by the glass and she hums. For about 10 minutes, she just stands, taps on the glass with a fucking smile. And there's another one. Right? It's just sit over there by the swing.
Okay.
Just letting its legs dangle. There's another couple that just sit over there by the pool. Just.
You really watch these things closely.
Yeah, well, there's no TV. Plus, you guys get to draw the shades at night. I got.
And then it dawns on Boyd.
Why didn't I just come ask this man what the fuck he was seeing every night? I could have saved myself a lot of time and got some sleep. Shit.
So then we cut back to the scene inside the ambulance. And see, this is what I'm talking about. They start driving down the road and Tabitha's trying to tell them something. They're not listening. If she would have just told them this shit when she got out to look at the tree before the crows got there, all of this, she could have been like, yo, look.
See, there go the barn. We good. Now you need to stop here. I know all these motherfuckers around here. We gonna get this shit sorted out. There's some scary shit about to happen. Just stay focused and listen to what the fuck we tell you to do.
But no. So I have to shout out the way that they put these scenes together, because this is where they kind of merged all of those narratives from before. You had Ethan on the phone, you had Tabitha in the ambulance, and you had Boyd and Randall inside of the bus. And this is the scene where all of those scenes kind of come together in this cohesive storytelling format. It was real dope the way they did this, and it drove us right into the scene with the slow walker laying out there on the ground playing possum. That, all of this was fire, everything. There's a lot of clues in here as well, but we'll get to those on the esoteric breakdown. For now, it's pretty much Ethan tells Boyd that there was a voice on the phone and it said that his mom was gonna be in the ambulance. Pretty much Jim running out there to go see if his wife is on there. And we cut to the scene that puzzled the fuck out of me for the whole entire episode, is why in the hell did Tabitha let this woman handcuff her? I mean, there's no way you handcuffing me in this shit, period. You're not handcuffing me. It's just that simple. You're not handcuffing me. Go out there and help the EMTs see what the fuck's going on with the lady. I'm about to wake Victor's old ass dad up and we about to get the fuck out of here. So I'm gonna make a long story short real quick. So Tabitha's snapping out in the back of the ambulance. The two dudes get out the ambulance to go check on the slow walker that's laying in the street. The cop gets out, starts shooting at the slow walker after she slices and dices him. Then the other slow walker's coming up from behind and she hauls ass up the colony house. The cop, that is. All the slow walkers seem to be chasing the cop. But here's something I wanted to point out. When the one that was laying on the ground transforms out of her human form, her hair and everything disappears. I just thought that was worth pointing out. So Tabitha's trying to wake up Victor's young old dad, and Jim comes just in time to get his wife out, but she's handcuffed to a post. Boyd and Randall show up. Randall runs to go get the toolkit from the bus. But this is the funny part right here. When Boyd ran up to the back of the ambulance, Henry's reaction right here.
Are there keys?
I don't know where they are.
Everybody, out of the ambulance now!
Yeah.
He had the reaction from Menace to Society where dude was like, tat, 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 what the fuck, man? And we cut back to a scene where the cop, she's running up the colony house. She's just shooting at the slow walkers, making all this damn noise. Colony house is ringing the bell about runners on the hill. And these folks hear the gunshots outside and this fool runs to the window. You could tell she ain't from no hood in America, because everybody know that when you hear gunshots, you're supposed to get the fuck away from the window. So she ends up getting shot, flying back, busting her head on the floor, and Mari goes to help her out immediately. So Clara pops up and she kind of makes some sense here. She's like, hey, it's a cop. You know, you can't just let her die out there. Let her in the door. And then Bacta says the stupidest shit. She's like, we should wait for Christy. Girl, don't you know Christy went out to the motherfucking cabins and shit? Like, how the fuck you go? This person got a gunshot wound. What we gonna do? Just let her sit there and bleed until Christy get there? Yeah, Bacta, you played yourself with that one. So then we get the cop in there. She's snapping out because she done shot somebody. Sitting up there, zero accountability, talking about it must have been a misfire. Donna's telling her to back the fuck up. she's over there struggling. Marielle is cool as a cucumber. She's cooking through this whole situation, making sure everything's good, telling them what she needs, the blankets, the alcohol, the pliers. She's getting busy. And then we go to a scene where Randall is in the bus and the cicadas are kind of letting him know, like,
yeah, motherfucker, we out here.
So he gets the toolkit, he runs back, and he's met by 4 slow walkers, and he holds a talisman out at him. And the slow walker chick is like,
nah, motherfucker, that shit don't work like that. We about to cook your ass out here.
and Boyd had asked Randall earlier, was he going to be a team player? And the answer is yes, but what happens is fucked up. But still, Randall tosses the toolkit over to Boyd, and Boyd tells him to get back to the bus. He turns around and sees the cicadas. I'm going to tell you right now, if I would have saw them fucking cicadas, I would have ran through them motherfuckers like I was playing football. Them slow walking motherfuckers would not have caught me, I'm telling you. And this was the crazy part where Boyd is looking for the keys, and the diner waitress, slow walker, I guess, walks up to him with the keys and says,
"Here, take them, but we gonna keep Randall."
Now, how I look at that is that's her proposing a deal to Boyd for Randall. And he took that deal. And that was fucked up. That really disappointed me. It was hard to watch a stand-up guy do some shit like that. I want to point out that the milkman still had the handprint from the cow's blood on his shirt. What if cow's blood won't absorb into them, but humans' blood will absorb into their, their little costume or whatever? Because the blood from old boy that got his tongue torn out definitely was on the collar of Jasmine, and that disappeared. And we have seen slow walkers get blood on them before, and they don't have blood on them now. But what if that was because it was human blood? And also, you have the milkman was the one that killed the cow, and the blood is still on his shirt from when he wiped that blood on him. So I don't know, maybe that's something interesting right there. What if they absorbed the human blood? That's crazy. I mean, it's fucked up that Boyd left Randall. You know what I mean? That was, he called Boyd a piece of shit. I think the shoe fits on that one. If they had the talisman, why didn't they just hop in there and put the talisman in there? Case closed, we all done, we finished. Hop in the ambulance, put the talisman up. You had it. Randall had a talisman. Boyd had a talisman. So we cut to a scene where, like I said, Mari, she's getting busy with the medical drill. And, she's taking care of this bullet wound. And I wanted to point out something interesting that I'll dive into a little bit more into my esoteric breakdown, was Fatima passing Nikki the wooden spoon to bite down on, which in a lot of different cultures, it was believed to ward off evil spirits or protect individuals from curses to biting down on a wooden spoon. Also, it does have like folk medicine and pain management aspects as well, but I just wanted to throw that in there just to give you a little taste of how far this esoteric breakdown is gonna go. This esoteric breakdown is gonna be coming in hot, y'all, so stay tuned. Another thing about this scene is how the look on her face, the look on the cop's face when she looked at Tabitha and Tabitha said, "I told you." That right there was something else. I mean, how would you have known? So then we cut to a scene where Elgin and Tilly in the kitchen, and a lot of interesting shit happens. Boring, but very interesting. We'll talk about that later. Then Elgin sees the kimono wraith, and this time he gets up to follow her, and she speaks to him. She says, "Help me." So then we cut to a scene where Ethan is asking his sister what happened to her. And she gives us a little bit of information, not too much, where she says that there are things that were happening, some of the scariest things she's ever seen. She's never been as scared in her life, but she doesn't quite remember the things that she's seen. She wasn't able to explain those things as well. I'm wondering if they were of a historical nature, but yeah, she talked about that. And Ethan says that, they're going to have to start taking care of each other if they don't come back. And I know that, it was a pretty touching moment or whatever, but I know Julie was like,
nah, they gonna come back because I ain't trying to be taking care of your little badass. They coming back.
That's what this face right here was about. So then we cut to a scene where Jade, Christy, and Kenny are in the cabin and they're talking. And Jade is pretty much telling them about the vision that he had out there in the snow. Long story short, a bunch of interesting information happened within this conversation. We'll talk about that later. They start hearing a noise outside, like banging on the actual cabin. And Christy questions, were those things just hallucinations? Could it have been a real person that he saw out there? I doubt it. Then we cut to a scene with Victor and Sarah inside the fort. Really dope fort. Once again, Victor, you did your thing on that. And he's in there going through the treasures that he accumulated from the people from the massacre. All that's cool and everything. We'll talk about some more of this stuff in the esoteric breakdown. But he does remember the ventriloquist dummy. He remembers that Christopher was their friend and he used to use this dummy to actually do puppet shows and ventriloquism. The doll's name was Jasper. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the esoteric breakdown as well. So we're getting close to the end here. And we get to a scene with Boyd and Donna in the kitchen. And Boyd is telling Donna how he had to leave Randall. He's questioning how in the hell is Tabitha back in the ambulance. And he's pretty much going through it with Donna, trying to figure shit out. And we cut right to a scene with Jim and Tabby upstairs in Colony House actually talking about what happened. About that being Victor's father, about the house, about the mother's paintings, about the boy in white wanting her to go see something or whatever. And then we cut right to a scene where Nikki is on the couch and she starts spitting up and she's going through it. She passes away on the couch. And Boyd, the person who literally took the deal to leave Randall there, who didn't have the foresight to put the talisman inside of the ambulance, who didn't even go back down there to see about Randall, had the nerve to take it out on the cop about her shooting Nikki accidentally. I think that she was a little trigger happy out there too. However, being in that situation where you got people that you're shooting and they're still walking to you, you start to question reality, like what's going on? Like they eating these bullets like it's a Nerf ball. So we cut to a scene where Donna takes Boyd upstairs to seemingly give him another one of her famous lectures, but she ends up breaking down in front of the mirror with some forced ass crying. And she says something very interesting. She says, why do they keep doing this? So she knows there's something going on with multiple. It's not like she said, why does it keep doing this? Or why does this place keep doing this? She said, why do they keep doing this? I think that's very telling. And she also asked the question, why is it one thing after another? And then we cut to a scene that reveals a lot about Christopher and Jasper, pretty much telling the story of him walking in on Christopher talking to this doll. The doll was talking, and it did the same sound that it did to Jade. It also was the same sound that we heard in the root cellar with the guy that was trapped under the boulder. Then we get to a crazy ass scene where they're bringing the body of Nikki into a bedroom and laying her on the bed. Fatima follows them into the room and she tells Ellis that she wants to go see or sit with her because she felt like she was mean to her.
Yeah, I was so mean to her the other day, but her dead body smells so good. I just have to come in here and sit with her by myself.
Then Fatima, of course, goes in there. It's getting crazy. She starts digging in the wound, tasting the blood and everything. And It's like the same satisfaction that she was getting from the rotten food, just a little bit more intense. Then we cut to a scene where Donna and Boyd are pouring up a drink and they toast to better days. And Boyd says, "Here, here." We'll get into that as well. And Randall, then they see the actual ambulance lights go off outside. And it shows Randall is on the hood of the ambulance and he's still alive. He's got a real big cut across his cheek. He's got the Joker smile going on now. And we'll see what happens with this. This episode was full of dope esoteric clues that we're going to break down in my next video after this one. For this episode, the esoteric breakdown, we're going to get into it. But I love this episode. It had me pissed off with Boyd. I'm not going to lie. That whole scene was crazy to me. I just feel like there should have been some better decision making going on. I don't think that it's settled in on these people's minds yet that there's a game that's being played with them. But they keep making the game references like team player and safe and all of these different things. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the esoteric breakdown. Let me know how you rated this episode 4, 304 of From. I loved it. I give it a 10. We still rocking with 10s. Last episode was a 9 just because of the time, but it got a 10 from me just because of the esoteric value that was inside of it with all of the plays and everything. But yeah, we're going to get into a little bit in the esoteric breakdown. I'll see you there. Just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for my video today. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.